Well, I have some thoughts what came up for me because you threw a bunch of stuff. So in connection to this not belonging, I don't belong, and then you also mentioned about the inner child. Yeah, it's a whole actual discussion about inner child. Yeah, I mean, I like this inner child thing in a way that it's like some kind of psychological way of tuning into some more like a more innocent, undomesticated, contrived, unconditioned part of us. I like more in the fourth way they were saying that, well, this adult and these programs is the false personality, and then our innate tendency, our what we came here with, that you see children with before they've been hurt or programmed, that's our essence. And essence is much more true. And unfortunately, education and all of that gets us further away from essence and develops false personality. Now, wounding and all of that. So wounding, trauma, repression creates like a false personality and actually creates a strategic child. So that's a little tricky because when you want to talk to the inner child, there's the innocent. I mean, also these are like, there is no inner child basically, but there's some kind of, these are like archetypal energies or something like that. But they might be confusing because we have they call it in the Jungian or in men's work, the golden boy or the golden girl with the playing with the ball and innocent, like freedom, spontaneity, joy. There's that. But for some of us, we can have the strategic child right there, that learned, oh, don't say this, don't do that, be quiet, don't. But anyway, I hear what you are saying, and I think that's a good spiritual practice anyway, to have some inner discrimination towards the what do I really want? Francis was talking about like, hey, connect to your heart's desire, heart's deepest desire, heart's enthusiasm, your interest, and try not to overrun it all the time. And maybe you have to train first to pause. It's like, what do I really want now? What do I really want? And pause. And so somehow establish a connection with that, and then that's anyway, it's a great increasing happiness in one's life. I mean, and more truer living my life rather than bad recipes of happiness. So yeah, so this practice of check with your heart's enthusiasm and ask yourself, what do I want to be doing now? And do I really want to be doing this, or I'd rather be doing something else, and tune into that. This requires to be a little bit more awake and not to fool oneself, but you will surely do it and listen to that. More like inner child, I like that more like in terms of processing oneself. So I think I guess this inner child is like a tool. It's a conceptual tool. So I find it more useful, let's say, when actually working with people, if we do this going inside and processing, awareness-based somatic processing, with these tools, KI or things like that, you can go beyond the personality into and they call it in Hakomi child state. They say you can recognize that the person now doesn't look like a 46-year-old man, and there is is more like tender, younger vibe that you can see in the face or in the body posture, or I've seen it with people, or in the tonality of their voice. So this, working with people clinically, I can see, oh wow, that's the child state here, which I kind of like this term child state. It's like state, it's like you, but this is the child state. And so that is very useful to recognize. because already if you work with someone, or let's say the child state is there, then it's great. It means that what you've been doing is good in terms of processing, because you got, we need the wounding happen in the child state, and the healing needs to happen with the child state. So it's good to recognize the child state. And in Hakomi, what I learned is that it's important for me to recognize that and then to switch myself, to adapt. Because if you're now no longer the 40-year-old strong woman, and now there's this 6-year-old girl, I want to meet that. And so they say, don't process the child, more like meet the child, talk to a child. So instead of saying, hey, so can you witness that thought, little girl, and see that it's not you, it's be like, no, it would be like, hey, how old are you? How old is this? It's 7. Oh, 7. What's going on? Oh, and so be more like a friendly, welcoming, yeah. So I find this child, inner child or child state, to be an effective tool relating to processing. I find it a little bit less reliable in terms of what does my inner child want to do. But still, this depends on you.
Yeah, like I talked about the heart, like checking in with the heart, maybe that's a more accurate place to look at. That's why I was wondering, like, maybe the child energy isn't always reliable.
Yeah, it can be traumatized child that wants to get the hell out of there. So what do you really want? I just want to get out of there, which, it's good to get out there if the child feels like that.
Right.
Let's see, I had some more. In men's work, they have this, as you know, the initiation, the Mankind Project initiation, and they had this idea of, for a man, it's important to discover or create a sense of mission, which I think is for women too. It's not just for men. A sense of mission, like, why am I here for? And have some soul decision. Hey, I will be fulfilled, and I will be content to die, knowing that I've done this. Yeah, so it's a sense of mission. And usually, because of various factors, conditions, we don't have that. So we are floating without a rudder. But in this developing of the sense of mission, they were saying that the mission is like a combination of vision and action. And they were saying the vision comes from the child. So the child, like, and actually we had this visualization and guided visualization, like, you meet yourself as a 6-year-old and you connect to the 6-year-old and all that. And then you are going hiking with the 6-year-old after, usually people cry when they meet with that. But anyway, now the child is, and then you follow the child to take you into some village or town where this is his ideal world there. Yeah. So then, so you see the child is taking you to a place in where it's like that is happy there and it's wonderful. And so even they had prompts in the visualization. What are the people doing there? What's happening? How do people spend their time? So all this comes from the child, some kind of ideal vision of truth and, less. Okay, so then they were saying, okay, you take that vision of the child, which is more true to you, it's unconditioned somehow. And then he says, but the child cannot make this happen. Right. The child doesn't have the power, strength, intelligence, discipline to make it happen. So he said you need the adult, more like the awake adult, the warrior, king, magician, the queen, lover, warrior. You need the adult to be in a team with a child. And it's almost like you have now you're flying a plane. In the cockpit, you have the adult and the child. And you're like, hey, where do you want to go? Where do you want to go? Where do you want to go? Oh, we want to go that. And the adult is like, whoa, okay. Okay, well, all right, let me think about this, how to make this happen. Then you need to come up with adult skills to make it happen, to fulfill this, give an example, like for me, I had this thing, like, I don't know, was like, the vision was that people are living harmoniously and in harmony and simplicity, and they are friendly and loving, and so some kind of sense of conscious harmony between people, so yeah, so then my mission was like, well, my mission is to co-create a world of conscious harmony. Okay, how I'm going to do about it, so now the adult and I co-create a world of conscious harmony by, and there have to be some action words, like by, I don't know what I had at the time, but yeah, so I co-create a world of conscious harmony by waking up, being more conscious, living fully. I didn't even know what it means to live fully. Now looking back, living fully is to not be repressed. And, so by being conscious, living fully, and helping others, So then, but first the idea is to create this world of conscious harmony within, So first to deal with that, rather than go out and try to change out there while I'm having all this harmony within,